All right, here we are again. Litime has sent us another battery. This time it is a smart battery from Litime. It's a 12 volt. And this is working out perfectly because we got the solar shed going on. So we may be able to see if we can get it connected out there to that inverter. And then of course we got to try to see if we can get this one hooked up to a Victron system. So that will be the last chapter in this video, so hang in there for that. But let's start off with the unboxing, and I'm going to try to go through this quickly because I don't want this video to be too long. And I openly will admit I opened this up a little bit as it came in because I was going to be out of town for a few weeks. So I kind of rushed through it and got it opened and kind of glanced through it a little bit. But in the box, as typical with the Litime, is they have the cover, and you have the screws and the caps in here. And then you have a couple of communication cables. Now, interestingly enough, on these communication cables, I want to point out that this one connects to the Victron Servo GX, and that's kind of cool. And then this one is another connection to go to another battery. So it allows you to parallel them up to 4 parallel, 4 in series and 4 in parallel, or up to 16, and runs up to 16 at a time. So we will attempt to play with some of this, and then you have they were nice enough to also include an extension. It looks like it's just a RG45 extender, also comes with it. So if you're going to need something to extend the cable if the batteries are sitting further apart from each other, this does plug into this and allows you to connect another cable. And you can use a standard, probably a Cat 5 or a Cat 6 for this, depending on the wiring, but I imagine it's standard Cat 5 or Cat 6. Anyway, that's the wiring that comes with it. So, and then the manual is also here. And we will throw this off to the side here. The manual is pretty basic instructions. Don't have a lot of details on some of the more complex connections, like how to connect up the parallels and things like that. But we'll walk through them and give you an idea of how they're done and what you're going to need to get these hooked up and how you're going to get them hooked up. I'm going to pull this battery out of here and get it out of this box real quick. And we're going to keep in mind this is not the Group 25. This is a Group 31 battery, so it is a little bit bigger, and it's the ComFlex edition, which means it's got the smart Bluetooth and the Victron CAN bus RS485 connections on it also. So that part of it is going to be really cool for us to play with. Now, I got one little treat for us also, because they were also nice enough to send us the monitoring screen that goes with this. So I have opened this also. Tell you, I couldn't wait because I was going out of town and I wanted to have the manuals to go over. It comes with a couple of connectors, twisty ties and stuff, just to tie down the wires. And it comes with a really long cable here. So it comes with a long cable that is used to connect the screen so that you can get state of charge and everything if you're just running this and you don't have it connected up to another system. Now, what is nice about this is the connectors that these connect to are IP65, meaning they are waterproof and can be on a boat and hooked up that way. Now, let's take a look at what we got here. We are going to connect this to the CAN port or to the RS485. I don't know which one. I think this goes for paralleling to another battery, and this goes to the monitoring screen. So we're just going to put this in here, slide it down good, and then tighten it down to make it waterproof. That's a very important feature here, is you have to push it down pretty good, but don't get so aggressive that you bend the pins that are in there, because they will not be fun to straighten out. It does come with caps on the positive and the negative like a typical battery, and then this one has a on-off switch. So we are going to take a look here at the screen first, and then we're going to see if we can just go straight to using the screen, which would be kind of cool. So I'm going to plug the screen in right here. We're going to turn this on, and you can see here it's just a single push to turn on, and then a push and hold for 3 seconds to shut off. Now the cool part is when this is hooked up in parallel with other devices and they're connected to where you're reading from this, you can also turn them all off or on with a single button push, so you don't have to worry about that. So I got this plugged in. Now let's just see if I can get it to come on. And this is where a nice little diagram in the manual would be very helpful. Show all 4 of the components, what they connect to, what order they should be connected in. Let's just, oh, there it goes. All right, so now the battery monitor pops up. And from the battery monitor, you can see here that we are sitting at 52% state of charge, 12.9 volts. And if we go over to system, let's just see. There we go. We have one battery. It's 100 amp hours. We have 52 amp hours left. And on the next screen, you have the discharge is on, the discharge is off. We have discharge on. We can also power the battery off with this. Now, this would be nice if this was mounted up in your RV somewhere and the battery was parked underneath in a bay somewhere, and you have this nice long cable here that you can use for that. Then you can come over here and you can shut this battery off. Very straightforward, very simple. The key here is going to be the comms piece of this and connecting it up to a Victron system, and I'm also going to try a couple of other different another system and see if I can get it to work over there also. So this is the unboxing. This is what they call the Litime 12V 100 amp hour Smart ComFlex edition battery that is supposed to be natively supported with the Victron system. All right, so all week we've been pounding on this battery. I have charged it, discharged it, run it all by itself, run it in parallel with other non-smart batteries, and we have really just worked it really hard and made sure that there isn't anything that's going to cause problems here. I didn't do a tear down of it, so I trust Will Prowse. He does the tear downs of them, and I believe that his would be better than I would ever be able to do at it and recognize things. But he says these Litime batteries are good. I have tested this one. What I would have liked to do is put this battery in and hook up the Victron charger. Unfortunately, you have to have a Servo GX to do that. And I don't have one at this point. Mine went out. So I got another one on order, and in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and get this video out, and we'll have a follow-up video here in a few months. Talk about how this battery connects directly to the Victron and controls a charge. But from everything that I've seen, even running just standard way, it worked perfectly. Let's take a look here at this Litime LiFePO4 12V 100 amp hour ComFlex edition smart battery. Now, I was planning on hooking this up to my Victron system and showing you exactly how you can configure the battery communications. Unfortunately, I had a small accident with my Servo GX and broke it, and haven't been able to get it a repaired one yet. So I'm going to walk you through how you connect it, and then I will show you in another video later on exactly how you can actually connect it. But it should be very straightforward. In the shipping materials that you got with this battery, on the top of this, you have 2 connectors. You have one that's labeled CAN P, RS485, and one that's labeled CAN P and I. The one that connects to the Victron system goes in this back port here, and this one connects to the other batteries that you would have in parallel. So you can run up to 16 of these batteries in parallel or in a series formation. For example, if you wanted to run 4 in series 4 in parallel. You could have 16 batteries in that configuration, have 48-volt batteries. This would then in turn connect to that battery, and it daisy chains very much like hooking up any rack mount batteries or any other batteries for communication. This allows all the batteries to communicate with each other, and then this would connect directly into the Servo GX. At that point, setting up the communication for the Servo GX is just a configuration. It may even detect it and just automatically work. So it's very, very simple. They've made this very simple. In addition to that, the connectors that they have here, I do want to point out, are IP65 water resistant, waterproof, whatever you want to call it. They will resist the water. You do need to push them down into the connector and then tighten it down in order to cause that O-ring in there to seal off perfectly. And that works perfect. Then you hook up your battery to your positive and your negative terminals like normal. Your power on button will turn on all the batteries in the bank or turn off all the batteries in the bank. It's very simple. Then you can monitor it from your Victron system. And it's as simple as that. They do provide you with a little extension for this cable if your Victron system is a little bit further away than this. It was kind of a short cable, and then I noticed that they included an extension, which is great because then you could just use a standard cable and run it as far as you want to make that work. Because it is a CAN bus, distance isn't going to be much of an issue. You can run it 10, 20, 30 feet easily. My understanding of that communication is it's hundreds of feet would be fine, and that does mean, you know, at least I'm pretty sure it's 100 meters or 300 feet, something along those lines. It's pretty long. I remember thinking about running one for my batteries to run up into my RV, and I realized there was no issue with distance. So it's very straightforward, very easy. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe. All the links are down below for discounts to get the battery, pick one up, to pick up multiple, save you some money, and hope it helps you out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss a thing.